So another important concept for us to talk about before we move on to the different types of compliance is hysteresis. So if you inflate the lungs and then deflate them, the pressure volume curves are different, which you can see here on our graphs. So during deflation, the lungs contain more volume at the same pressure. This difference is called hysteresis, which by definition is the present state of the system is reliant on the past state, and it's seen in many biological systems. In this case, if the past state was inspiration versus expiration, then the present state will be different despite the same pressures, and there are different volumes then at these pressures. And equally, this means if you measure the same volumes where the markers are, then the pressures would be different, as you can see here on this graph. And this occurs because of surfactant, and surfactant has a very dynamic role in the way it changes surface tension and recoil pressures. And this is demonstrated because when lungs are filled with saline, the air fluid interface that surfactant manages and changes is eliminated from the effects on hysteresis and compliance. And what they found is that you essentially have zero hysteresis, and then you also find that the lungs have a higher compliance when they're filled with saline versus when they're not filled with saline and they're just an air fluid interface. And then there's alveolar recruitment changes as well. And inflation requires opening previously collapsed alveoli, which also affects this also. And a question that sometimes gets asked is, are your lungs or your respiratory system more compliant on inspiration or expiration? And you can figure this out based on the graph, as you have a higher volume to pressure on expiration compared to inspiration, which means that the respiratory system is more compliant on expiration than inspiration. Now, clinically, we divide respiratory compliance into static